Welcome to our Project Tiger interview series, where we get to speak with some of the greatest global leaders in innovation. My guest today is Mr. Cristhian Prado. Chris is my alumni from MIT Sloan Fellow program. He is well respected for his expertise in strategic planning, business consolidation, innovation, financing, and infrastructure projects. Chris is used to be the Deputy Director of the Treasury Departments in the Republic of Colombia, responsible for country risk, external financing, and investor relations, and sitting in the board of directors of many leading companies. He also worked as the management head of Ecopetrol Cent Group. Chris now is the founding partner of Data 360. So Chris, you have tremendous experience and achievement. Can you share with us something not on your resume so we could get to know you more? What are your aspirations in career?
Thank you, Julie, for this invitation. I'm glad to be here and I'm glad to be part of this project. Let me share with you a little bit of my story, and that relates with my work at the Ministry of Finance. I had a fantastic opportunity there to work with very smart people solving issues in infrastructure. And also I had the opportunity to improve the productivity of my country. And my job there was very good for me as a person, because it made me feel that I was part of something bigger and that I was creating the country that I want for my children and for my grandsons. That's very good for me. Right now, I'm working from the private sector as an entrepreneur. I'm creating, or I'm bringing emerging technologies to local companies, to regional companies, in order to increase productivity in those businesses and create jobs to support my region.
Chris, you have a lot of experience in both public and private sectors. In my book, Innovations Crunching Tiger, I compare China's movements as the epicenter of shifting tectonic plates. How do you feel the movement impact Colombia now?
Okay, yes, well, that's a very good question, because diplomatic relations or external policy in China had a huge impact also in Colombia. I've seen a big movement, not only in terms of financial flows or technology flows, but also in terms of diplomatic relations. China is building an embassy here in Colombia in a fantastic place in Bogota. And also, I've seen a lot of effort in creating bridges to connect Colombia with China. That's very important for Colombia, but it's also a little bit of difficult for local players, because we have been very close to the US, and that movement is putting us in a situation where we have to think where, if we are going to continue giving the US a huge space in terms of diplomatic relations, or if we want to be more open to connect with China. And I think that is changing. I don't have like a clear view where we are going in terms of foreign relations with the US or China right now. With the new president in the US, I think it's gonna be different. But what is clear is that conflict between the US and China is going to last for decades. And I think we have to, as a country, manage how to deal with those big names or big countries.
As we talk in this book, Chris, we know the trade war between the US and China will continue for decades. How does this affect your ventures in energy and infrastructure? Can you share with us?
In terms of business, I've seen the impact or more as a benefit for Colombia. Because in the energy sector, I've seen good technologies being financed by the financial sector. I mean, the quality and the guarantee around Chinese technologies in terms of renewables, that is very good. And it's very good for local financing players and also for external financing players. And in Colombia, the renewables industry is moving very quickly, and I've been part of that. I've been working with Chinese companies, bringing solar panel technologies to generate energy for Colombia. And that's good because that is bringing competition to the former's controllers of energy generation. And that is good for consumers, that is good for businesses, that is good for people because those local technicians are getting training how to install those panels. And I think that's good for the economy in general terms. At the same time, I've seen a lot of capital and knowledge coming to the infrastructure sector. Many of the big projects are being constructed by Chinese companies. In the case of the first metro line in Bogota, a Chinese company is doing that project, is building that metro line, and also roads. And I think that is good for Colombia. That capital flow is good for the country, and that's the result of a clear view in terms of the Chinese government or Chinese corporations bringing capital to work in Colombia.
Right. Chris, in addition to the trade war, the world now is fighting against epidemic. But at the same time, the epidemic is fostering global digitalization. What kind of risks or opportunity the epidemic bring to Data 360, your new venture?
2020 was a very difficult year for all. And for us at Data 360, what we did was use it as an opportunity where we use our training pillar to connect with clients. And in that strategy, what we did was create a course using clients' data to have an action learning process, similar than the one we had in those labs at MIT. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, they get to know more about Python, more about data science, more about big data. And at the end of the process, they also had a model to solve a company issue using data and using artificial intelligence. So we used that painful year, that difficult year, as an opportunity to connect with clients in terms of training and also giving them tools to navigate that difficult year as well.
Chris, in my book, Innovations in ICTiger, we discuss how emerging technologies such as AI and big data are making IP service more precise, streamlined, and affordable. So from your experience, what are some other major applications of AI and big data that are particularly valuable, especially in Colombia?
Yes, the use of AI at Data 360, we have two lines. The first one is to support mid-market companies, those companies that see those technologies, AI and big data, as something that is very far from them. We are bringing them with high quality services at very affordable prices, and we are helping them to reduce costs, doing optimizations, and also increasing the top line by, for example, doing segmentations using artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. From the other part, we have the public sector line, which is focused on security. Security is a very huge problem for Colombia, and we are processing video, voice, data in databases that police and other government entities already have to create a service that is going to bring more data for those policymakers to reduce crime, to reduce the violence against women, and to increase security in cities. In the same pillar, in the public sector pillar, we also have the health service. And that service is using data to prevent or reduce costs using preventive management for patients that are in huge or in big risks to have complications in terms of high cost treatments. Mm-hmm. So we have a service, but that also works for the public and private, to give doctors and give hospitals a tool that is going to use that information, patient information, and use deep learning to read images of scanners and everything. And that tool is going to support or is supporting those physicians in helping their patients to increase quality of life.
So talking about those new generation of technologies, we think of new generation of professionals too, right? Many people around the world are beginning to see the important role that China plays in global innovation. How would you advise young professionals in Colombia who want to get involved with China?
The world is changing fast. Mm-hmm. And as a professionals, as fathers, as mothers, as persons, we need to know when to switch industries, because the jobs that we have right now probably are going to be different in the future. Mm-hmm. And in order to be part of that new future, we need to know when to learn new things, mm-hmm. when to unlearn the things that we have been using, and also to be part of that new world, we need to be flexible. And being flexible means that we have to adapt and be part of different perspectives, understand the difference and the beauty in diversity, understand the beauty in working with people from different parts of the world. And I think that's very important for the present and also for the future as well.
Friends, this is our Project Tiger interview serial where we get to speak with some of the greatest global leaders in innovation. Stay tuned, we have more to come.